March is Blood Clot Awareness Month, and today is my clotiversary. On March 11, 2021 was when I suffered from the blood clot in my right leg. As most of you know, I'm now missing my left leg, and that's because they had to go through so much just to save my life. Today, what I want to tell you is why I developed the blood clot. This product here, Prasco. It is a birth control that is a generic brand of NuvaRing. I had used NuvaRing in the past, back after I had my daughter. And just real quick, before I have people come on here, I know some of y'all are, consider yourself good religious people or Christians, and people have negative things to say, especially on social media, and will say things like, maybe you shouldn't have been trying not to have a baby. I did not take birth control for that reason. Mine was to control my heavy menstrual cycle. So back to my story now. I began using the Prasco device on February 21st, and the blood clot happened on March 11th. This is not my opinion that it was the Prasco. This is actually the opinion of one of my doctors, and it's actually in my medical records. So again, this is just not simply an opinion. Now, this is just for informational purposes, but it isn't just based on my opinion. I wasn't aware of the dangers of blood clots. So I will say that I understand that the packaging, I still have my package, I need to read it. But I understand that the packaging, I guess, does have a warning. One of the side effects is blood clots. Again, I'm not sure, but that would not have alarmed me because I wasn't aware of the dangers of blood clots at that time. I've since learned at the end of 2021, I believe, that NuvaRing was actually removed from the market because of issues with blood clots and how many blood clots it created in the women who were lost. And so over time, NuvaRing decided to take down that product. Prasco exists, and I believe there are a few other ones that exist. Now, this is not to say that it's dangerous for everyone, but it was dangerous for me. The way that my doctor explained it is that the estrogen levels is what likely caused it for me. And so for the remainder of my life, I cannot take anything that has estrogen or even reacts like estrogen. I can't even have a natural product that can possibly act like estrogen because there is still the risk of a blood clot forming. I am on blood thinners at this point for, I don't know, indefinitely, at least for right now, because it was so severe that they just do not want to risk removing me from the medication. Many of you know my story. I have a lot of friends and family that know my story. I do have like a little 15-minute video on my YouTube channel, and I believe I also posted something on TikTok. But I'm not sure if I'm going to go piece by piece and tell my overall story of what happened, because I will just tell you, I was in the hospital from March 11th until May 21st. So you hear how long that time frame was. I had a lot of things happen to me during that time. And again, I don't want to give it away because I may just decide to come back and do this Risa Tisa style and put in some little parts. But for now, I just at least wanted to tell my story of what happened. In all seriousness, I do think ladies should be aware that if you're going to go on birth control, be aware of what those side effects are, what the possibilities can be for you. It may not affect you. There are millions of women who take birth control every day of different forms. There are some that do not have estrogen in them and other harmful things. And again, the estrogen may not be an issue for you, but it was for me. So on my clotiversary today, and on my alive day, as I like to call it, because I'm celebrating being alive for 3 years, because goodness, it was like this close. So I'm just celebrating still being here and being able to be with my loved ones and friends. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the support, and don't be afraid to share out my video. If you have questions, ask me. I know I have not really talked about this part of it, and I just felt like it was important that I share exactly why I developed that blood clot, because someone else may be going through the same thing and they may have questions themselves. I do know that there are women who have lost their lives to using birth control. They weren't as fortunate as I was to still make it out of that situation. So again, if you have any questions or share it out. Let me know. Maybe you have an experience that's similar that you'd like to share. Certainly talk about it. Let's talk about what's affecting us. And I do think if there's an OBGYN that watches this, please make your patients aware, because I was not aware. I did not understand. And maybe my OB thought I did. I'm not upset with her, but maybe she assumed that I understood the risks with taking birth control, and I did not. So if you're an OB, please make sure that you share what the risks are to your patients of taking substances like this. Thank you for your time. And again, any questions, hit me up. Happy Alive Day to me, because it did not have to be this way.